What's going on, guys? JPP Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. And for today's matchup, we have an Adventures Pranks versus an Eldlich, with my opponent playing Eldlich going first. Now, I did tell you guys my opponent is playing Eldlich, so that means the best that my opponent will do is set down 5 cards past his turn, and that's pretty much it. When I was going into this game, now this is just me overly analyzing the whole thing, but when I was going into the game, and my opponent starts his turn off by activating a Pot of Extravagance, the first thing that pops into my head is that this guy might be playing Eldlich. Now granted, Pot of Extravagance is not exclusive to Eldlich players. There are a bunch of other decks that do play this pot, Flu being another major one of them. So Ash Blossoming this against a Flu player could be pretty bad. But in the back of my head, I was thinking maybe this guy was playing Eldlich, so I decided to Ash Blossom the Pot of E, the draw 2 that the Pot of E offers by the banish of 6 cards from the extra deck. So we Ash Blossom that, it resolves. That means no +1 for the opponent. He sets down 3 cards, passes his turn. So the gut feeling I had that this guy was playing Eldlich turned out to be true. Now on my draw phase, I actually managed to top deck a Harpy's Feather Duster, one of the cards that Eldlich players hate. But you do not want to just go up and activate the Harpy's Feather Duster. No. Don't ever do that. Because you never know if your opponent has a Solemn Judgment set on the field. If they have a Solemn Judgment set, that means your first activation on the Harpies, if you do not bait out anything, the Solemn with anything, will be taken away. And if the opponent opens up any floodgates afterwards, you are screwed. You cannot go into your combo afterwards. So you want to try to bait out the Solemn Judgment. Just go into the matchup thinking he has a Solemn Judgment, try to bait it out before even going into your combo or committing your normal summon, because Solemn can deny the normal summon itself. So the bait I throw out is my Fateful Adventure that I have in my hand. We activate the Fateful Adventure, no Solemn yet, we get the Enchantress, we pitch the Enchantress. So I was going to go into my right search into my Dracoback, and Dracoback would have bounced a card from the field. Now seeing this, my opponent just instantly flips over the Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. This will be putting a Golden Lord on the field, and after that card resolves, he in a separate chain link activates the Haquero to banish out the Enchantress from my graveyard, since he has a Golden Lord on the field. Now ideally, what the Eldlich players want to do is that they want to chain one the Haquero chain to the Scarlet Sanguine, so that way on resolution the Golden Lord comes on the field, and since Golden Lord is on the field, Haquero does get the banish off. You guys might be thinking this guy made a misplay. No, it's actually a pretty smart play on the opponent's part, because think about it. The opponent does not know whether I have an Ash Blossom or not. And if he activates the chain as chain 1 Haquero chain to the Scarlet, and if I Ash Blossom the Scarlet, that means the Haquero just comes on the field as a 1.5k defense body, and that's it. He does not get a banish off. So to play around that, my opponent did the 2 activations of separate chain links, in separate chains, so that way in case I Ash Blossom, he does not need to activate the Haquero. He keeps the Haquero and uses it for his next turn after he does all those stuff, right? So pretty smart play on my opponent's part as well. Now I was worried about this last card. If this card turns out to be Solemn Judgment at this point, we do not care, because I need to commit my normal summon as a Prankets player to go into my whole play. So I can now throw out the Harpy's Feather Duster to take out the last card he has set in his back row, and if it's a Solemn, he activates it. That's bad for the opponent, good for us, and if it is not activated, it gets popped anyways, so that we can normal summon out a card, go into a combo afterwards. Turns out the back row set that he had was a Summon Limit. If you guys did not see it, I will show you. He had Summon Limit, Haquero, plus the Scarlet Sanguine set in the back row. Summon Limit does kill off Prankis. This card states neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn. That is extremely bad for any combo decks out there. So Harpy's Feather Duster actually came in clutch for us. With this, we go into our combo. So the first graveyard activation, we do get a chain block off. So the opponent still had 1 card in his hand. I was not sure what it was. It could have been an Ash Blossom, right? Ash Blossom would have been really bad for us. Now, with the chain block, I do get the Dracoback search, and with the Roxy's banish, I choose to banish out the Dracoback. DD Crow into an Eldlich matchup is pretty useful. I could have DD Crowed my opponent's Scarlet Sanguine or the Haquero from the graveyard to prevent one extra card being set down, or if he throws a Golden Lord in the graveyard, we could DD Crow the Golden Lord as well. So that way Golden Lord does not come on the field with 3.5k attack as well. So it's a really good card in an Eldlich matchup. Do not want to banish it. Sadly, on the draw of the Roxy's, I end up drawing into a right. So I get a token, we keep going into our combo. Now the next thing you wanna think about is whether or not you can kill your opponent this turn itself. The answer to that is pretty obvious. No, we cannot kill the opponent this turn itself with the cards we have on our field. So after that, you have to think about, can you do something else that will be extremely annoying towards your opponent? And the answer to that is yes in this specific scenario. Think about this. You started with pranks in your hand, which I did, right? I started with pranks in my hand. I have 3 materials on the field for link 3 for pranks. I need another material of a prank kid's card to go into my link 4, which is my roaster. Now, since we know this guy is playing a back row set deck, Butler is pretty useless against a back row set deck. You want to go into your roaster. So over here, what I thought was, I have a way to go into my roaster, right? So we activate pranks, we discard the Lampseas, we get ourselves a token. And these 4 cards are enough for us to go into our roaster. And again, since we know this guy is playing back row, he will be getting the graveyard activations at the end of his turn on the Scarlet Sanguine plus the Haquero. He's going to be setting down more cards. We could just use our roaster, pop the back row, not once but twice, which is extremely annoying for an Eldlich player to deal with because they are setting down traps, not spells, not even quick play ones. So we could pop those back row sets twice and potentially win the game from there. So 3k attack coming on the field, the Golden Lord being at 2.8k defense. We get the Dropsy, special offenses as well, kill off the Golden Lord, whack in the face for 2k with our token, and if he tries to activate Golden Lord from the graveyard, we have our DD Crow in our hand to target the Golden Lord and banish it out, so it is not coming on the field with 3.5k attack. Pretty good stuff for us. So in this specific scenario, guys, you need to play according to what you're facing. So again, it's not always, you have to go into your Butler. No, drop that mentality. It's not always go into Butler. Sometimes Roaster is way more important than Butler, especially against back row set decks. And Eldlich is not the only back row set deck. Sky Striker is another heavy back row set deck. Burn Decks, another heavy back row set deck. You want to go into Roaster, prioritize Roaster over Butler against those specific decks. So again, really good that I run Roaster, I go into Roaster, and we get the pops off. But turns out that either this guy was holding a Lava Golem in his hand or he hard drew into Lava Golem. So the first thing that I got hit with is Lava Golem. Now, I don't know if you guys know about the Roaster's floating effect. Butler and Roaster both have floating effects if they are sent to the graveyard from the field via destruction or tribute or anything with your opponents or through battle as well. Butler can target one of a non-fusion monster, add it to your hand or return it to your deck, whatever. Roaster can target one card in the graveyard, which is not a link monster, and either add it to your hand or return it to the extra deck. Since we went through the Harpy's Feather Duster, we had the Duster in the graveyard. Again, this card is extremely crucial in an Eldlich matchup. So what I end up doing is I target the Harpy's Feather Duster in the graveyard with my Roaster, add it back to my hand for my next turn. So my Harpies, which is the Roaster, is gone, but it allows me to get my second Harpies, which is in the graveyard, into my hand. Extremely crucial. So we do that, and the opponent starts activating the cards in his graveyard, sets down a Golden Land Forever, so he knows my Harpy's Feather Duster is going to be hitting him. So to prepare against that, he's already setting down an Omni Negate on the field, which is in the form of the Golden Land Forever. He can put the Golden Lord on the field, he just needs a zombie monster as a tribute to activate the Golden Land Forever, and that's going to get the Harpy's Feather Duster. So he activates the Haquero, Haquero gets the banish off, he sets down another Scarlet Sanguine. Now, again, in this specific scenario, I had top decked a copy of Ash Blossom with my Pranks Recycle on the end of turn 2. Again, extremely good top deck. And we even have the DD Crow, so in case he targets the Golden Lord in the graveyard with the Scarlet Sanguine, we still have the DD Crow as well. So again, really good for us. I even end up drawing into a Prankets combo starter card, even though my Meowmoo is in the graveyard, but we still have other monsters on the field. We still have the Fateful Adventure Search for our Griffin Rider. So we would have our Omni on the field as well. This guy is down to 5.5k life points. These two cards are enough for 5k. I normal out this card, that's 6k. I even have the Griffin, that's going to be 8k damage I could put on the field this turn itself. Opponent activates the Scarlet to put the Golden Lord in draw phase, by the way. This is happening in draw phase because he wants to get the zombie on the field as soon as possible, so that way he could negate the Harpy's Feather Duster with the Golden Land forever. So with we just Ash Blossom the Scarlet Sanguine, seeing this, the opponent knows he's done for the game, does not want to play, just scoops out the game. That's going to be it for today's game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank and video uploads, and if you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpvduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPVduel signing off for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!